Welcome back to Future Forward, the podcast that explores how to build a creative and profitable life in the digital age. I'm your host, Maria.
And I'm Gabriel. It's great to be here. Maria, today's topic is one I think a lot of people are curious about. It's this giant in the e-commerce world that somehow still feels like a neighborhood craft fair.
That's the perfect way to describe it. We are talking about Etsy, and specifically, how in the world do people actually make money on it?
Right. Is it a viable side hustle? Can it be a full-time job? Is everyone just selling personalized wedding favors?
Well, there are a lot of those for sure, but the Etsy economy is so much bigger than that. Get this. In 2023, the platform had over 90 million active buyers.
90 million? Wow. Okay, so that's a huge potential customer base.
Exactly. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We'll explore the main ways sellers are generating income, what it takes to actually get a shop off the ground, and some of the gritty realities that you don't see in the pretty Instagram photos of people packing orders.
Love it. Let's do it. So I guess we should start with the basics. For anyone who's maybe lived under a rock, what is Etsy?
It's an online marketplace focused on handmade items, vintage goods, and craft supplies. Think of it as the anti-Amazon. It was founded in 2005, and its whole mission was to create a place where crafters and artists could sell their work directly to buyers without a middleman.
Right? That direct connection is key. You feel like you're buying from a person, not a faceless corporation. I bought a hand-carved wooden spoon once, and the seller included a little handwritten note about the type of wood and where it came from.
See, that's the magic of it. That's what people are paying for. It's the story, the human touch. But what started as a small, kind of bohemian community has exploded. It's a publicly traded company now. It's a massive player in e-commerce.
Mm-hmm. And with that growth, the ways to make money on it have also diversified, right? It's not just about knitting scarves in your living room anymore.
Not at all. And that's really the first big topic we should tackle. What are people actually selling? Let's break down the main categories of products that make money on Etsy.
Okay, so the most obvious one has to be physical handmade goods. That's the bread and butter.
Totally. This is category number 1, the maker. You're the one physically creating the product. This could be anything from handmade jewelry, pottery, custom illustrations.
Scented candles, custom t-shirts, leather goods. I mean, you name a hobby, someone is selling it on Etsy.
Exactly. And the pro here is that you have complete creative control. It's your vision, your product. The downside is that it takes a lot of time and effort. You have to source materials, make the thing, photograph it, pack it, ship it. It's very hands-on.
And your inventory is limited by how fast you can make stuff. You can't just magically produce 1,000 units if a product goes viral.
Right, it doesn't scale easily, but for many, that's the appeal. It's a craft, not a factory. Okay, so after handmade goods, what's the next big category?
I'd say vintage. This is a huge one for people who love the thrill of the hunt.
Yes, the curator. So for Etsy, vintage means the item has to be at least 20 years old. People build entire shops around a specific era or aesthetic, like 1970s rock band t-shirts or mid-century modern glassware.
Right. So your job isn't making the thing, it's finding the thing. You're spending your weekends at flea markets, estate sales, thrift stores. You're digging for treasure.
And the skill there is in your eye. Can you spot a valuable, desirable item in a pile of junk? Can you clean it up, photograph it beautifully, and tell its story?
And the inventory is, it's one of a kind. Once you sell that 1960s dress, it's gone. You have to go find another one. So it's a constant hunt.
A constant hunt. I love that. Okay, so we have the maker and the curator. There's a third one that's kind of a mix, which is craft supplies.
Ah, yes. Selling the tools for the makers. It's meta.
totally meta. You're selling beads, custom fabric, unique yarns, jewelry findings, scrapbook paper. Basically, you're becoming a supplier to the other Etsy sellers. It can be a really smart business model because your customers are other passionate business owners.
That's clever. You're selling the pickaxes during the gold rush.
Yes! Okay, but now we have to talk about the category that has completely changed the game on Etsy over the last, 5 to 10 years.
Let me guess. Digital products.
Digital products. This is where things get really interesting from a business perspective. We're talking about anything the customer can download instantly.
So, what does that even mean? Like ebooks?
It's way broader. Think printable art for your walls, digital planners for your iPad, resume templates, budget spreadsheets, social media templates for other small businesses, wedding invitation suites that you can edit and print yourself.
Whoa. Okay, so the big advantage here is no shipping.
No shipping, no inventory, no materials. And this is the magic phrase, passive income. You create the digital file once, one time, and you can sell it an infinite number of times.
So you could be making sales while you're sleeping or on vacation. The system just automatically delivers the file to the customer.
Precisely. The work is all upfront in the design and creation of the product, but once it's done, it's done. Now, the price point is usually lower than for a physical item, but the volume can be massive.
That's fascinating. It's like a completely different business model living on the same platform as someone hand-making clay mugs.
It really is. And there's another related model, print on demand. This is kind of a hybrid between physical and digital.
Okay, how does that work?
So you, the seller, create a design. Let's say it's a funny slogan for a t-shirt or a beautiful floral pattern for a tote bag. You then partner with a production company like Printful or Printify. You create a listing on Etsy with a mock-up of the t-shirt.
Okay.
When a customer buys it, the order automatically goes to the printing company. They print your design on the t-shirt, pack it up, and ship it directly to the customer. You never touch the product.
Wow. So it's hands-off like a digital product, but the customer gets a physical item.
Exactly. The trade-off is that your profit margin is smaller because the printing company takes a big cut, and you have less control over the quality and shipping times. But it lets you sell hundreds of different physical products without ever holding inventory.
So, just to recap, you can be a maker, a curator of vintage goods, a supplier of craft materials, a designer of digital products, or a creator using print on demand.
That's a pretty great summary, and of course you can mix and match. Many sellers do.
Okay, so let's say someone listening is thinking, I can do that. I have a great idea for custom pet portraits, or I want to sell digital planners. Where do they even start? It feels overwhelming.
It does, but you just have to take it one step at a time. The very first thing before you even create an Etsy account is to do your research, niche down.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, don't just say, I want to sell jewelry. The competition for jewelry is insane. Say, I want to sell minimalist, gold-plated jewelry inspired by constellations.
Okay, so find a specific audience. Don't try to appeal to everyone.
Exactly. Once you have your niche, you need a shop name, something memorable, and ideally something that tells people what you sell. And then, and this is maybe the most important part, photography.
Right? Because you can have the most beautiful product in the world, but if the photo is dark and blurry, no one's going to buy it.
You're not selling the product, you're selling the photo of the product. That's all the customer has to go on. You don't need a fancy camera, your smartphone is fine, but you do need good natural light, a clean, simple background. Take photos from multiple angles, show the scale of the item.
Like putting a coin next to a small charm so people know how big it is.
Exactly. Lifestyle shots are great too, showing the product in use, someone wearing the necklace, the art print hanging on a wall. It helps the customer imagine it in their own life.
Okay, so you've got your niche, your name, your photos. Then you have to write the listing, the title, and the description. This is where the nerdy stuff comes in, right? SEO?
Yes, search engine optimization. It's just a fancy way of saying using the words your customers are using to search. You need to think like a buyer. What words would they type into the Etsy search bar to find your product?
So instead of just gold necklace, you'd say dainty gold zodiac necklace, celestial jewelry gift for her, 18K gold plated.
Perfect example. You're using long tail keywords. You put those in your title, your description, and especially in the 13 tags that Etsy gives you for each listing. Using all 13 tags is crucial.
It seems like a lot of little details to get right.
It is, but that's what separates the successful shops from the ones that get no traffic. And we haven't even touched on pricing yet.
Oh boy, pricing. The eternal struggle for every creative person. How do you put a price on your art?
It's so hard, but you have to take the emotion out of it and use a formula. At the very least, it should be cost of materials, plus your time valued at an hourly rate, plus fees, plus profit.
And people always forget to pay themselves for their time. They'll spend 5 hours on something, use $10 in materials, and sell it for $20. You've just made, what, $2 an hour?
Less, because you forgot the fees, which brings us to the realities and challenges of selling on Etsy. It's not free money.
Right? Let's talk about the fees, because that's how Etsy makes its money.
Okay, so first there's a listing fee, 20 cents to put an item up for 4 months. Then, when it sells, there's a transaction fee, which is 6.5% of the total sale price, including shipping. Then, there's a payment processing fee, which is another 3% plus 25 cents. And if the sale came from an off-site ad that Etsy placed for you, they take another 12 to 15%.
Whoa, okay, that adds up really fast. You could be looking at nearly 25–30% of your revenue going straight to Etsy.
It does. You absolutely have to factor those fees into your pricing, or you'll end up losing money.
And then there's the competition. With millions of sellers, how do you stand out? It seems like you could do everything right and still just get lost in the noise.
That's a huge challenge, and it's why you can't just rely on Etsy to bring you customers. You have to market your shop yourself on social media like Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok. Build an email list. You have to drive your own traffic.
So running an Etsy shop is really running a full-blown small business. You're the CEO, the photographer, the marketer, the accountant, the shipping department.
You're all of it. And you have to deal with customer service, lost packages, unhappy customers, bad reviews. It can be emotionally taxing. Someone leaving a 1-star review on something you poured your heart into, it stings.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So, after all that, is it worth it? Can you really make good money on Etsy?
I think the answer is a definite yes, but with an asterisk. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. The stories you hear of people opening a shop and making 6 figures in their first year are the exception, not the rule.
Right? It takes time to build momentum, to get reviews, to figure out what sells.
A lot of time. But if you have a unique product, if you're willing to learn about marketing and SEO, if you provide great customer service, and if you have patience, you can absolutely build a successful business. It can be a fantastic creative outlet that pays for your hobby, a significant side income that helps you reach financial goals, or even, eventually, a full-time career.
So the dream is real. It just requires a lot of work.
Like anything worthwhile. So as we wrap up, what's the one key takeaway for our listeners today?
For me, it's the sheer diversity of opportunity. Whether you're a painter, a thrift store junkie, or a graphic designer, there's a business model on Etsy that could work for you. You don't have to fit into one single crafter box.
I love that. For me, it's that success on Etsy is a combination of creativity and business acumen. You need both. A great product isn't enough, and great marketing can't save a bad product. You have to marry the art and the science of it all.
Well said. This has been super insightful. I'm feeling inspired. I might go look for some vintage cufflinks.
Or start your own shop for them. The possibilities are endless.
Don't tempt me. All right, that's all the time we have for today.
A huge thank you for tuning in to Future Forward. If you've ever thought about turning your creative passion into a business, we hope this gave you some food for thought. You can find us on all the social media platforms. Just search for Future Forward Podcast. We'll be back next week with a new episode.
Until then, keep building your future.